Hello everybody, my name is Dina and welcome to Unit 16, Lesson 4, Basic Animation with Keyframes. I have been waiting to talk about animation because I use it so often, from simple transitions to full-on cutscenes. I've always loved animation for being able to create life and movement from still images. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. Before we talk about the many applications of animation in Vegas, I'd like to share with you the basics of animation, what keyframes are, and how they work. As I've mentioned before, way back in Unit 14, video and animation all create the illusion of motion by putting lots of slightly different still photos next to each other quickly, which makes it look like it's moving. For animation, that means you have to draw out each frame, or if it's digital, you have to mark the beginning and end points so the computer knows what to fill in. That's what keyframes are. Keyframes are the points where a motion starts and finishes. It marks the exact point of change. For a simple visual example, let's say I want to move the circle, or ball, up and down the screen, as if it is bouncing. The beginning of the motion is at the very top of its bounce, and the ending of the motion is when it hits the ground. Then it goes back up, then back down, and repeat. Instead of needing to adjust the location of the ball for every single frame, I can make keyframes for the ball. Mark the first keyframe where the ball is at the very top, and a second keyframe when the ball is on the floor. It needs to bounce back up, so let's add a third keyframe with the ball back up at the top again. Now, play that. The computer will fill in the motion in between, and the ball moves downwards, then upwards. If you loop this, you can have it bounce forever because it's a full cycle. So, that's how keyframes work. Use them to mark the points where you want the motion to change, or start, or end. Let's look at specific examples now. The first examples I'd like to look at are the video and audio envelopes. Remember those? Let's add a velocity envelope to our video track right now. We can use keyframes to make the video gradually speed up or slow down. To add a keyframe here, you can simply double-click on the green line. So again, keyframes mark the beginning and end points. Let's mark a keyframe here as our starting point, which will stay at the regular speed. Then, let's go a little to the right here and create another keyframe, which will be the point where we want the speed to ultimately end up being. Let's drag that up so it'll speed up and be faster. Now, when you play it, the video will start to get faster at your first keyframe until it reaches the speed you set it at the second keyframe. In addition to envelopes, you can really animate most everything in Vegas. Let's look at special effects. Click on the FX button on your clip, and let's choose Radial Pixelate. Open it up, and you can see next to each of the adjustment settings, there are little clock icons with a green plus sign. Click on the one next to the strength slider, and you will see how it opens up a mini simplified timeline underneath. Place your playhead where you want your first keyframe to be, then add a keyframe by using the Create Keyframe button with the diamond icon and plus sign. Keyframes show up as diamond icons on the timeline. Once the keyframe is created and your playhead cursor is over it, any changes you make will automatically be saved. So for our first keyframe, let's leave the strength as 0. Next, let's move a bit to the right and add another keyframe. Now, let's turn up the strength so the effect really shows up dramatically. Close the window and play that, and you can see the pixelate effect gradually getting stronger. The real fun part of animating, in my opinion, lies in the pan crop tool. As we know already, the pan crop tool has two tracks on the bottom. Position, which allows you to move things around, rotate, or zoom them, and the mask track, which allows things to show up and disappear. Let's look at the position track first. To show you that this truly works anywhere, let's apply keyframes to some text instead of our footage. Let's create some text here, such as a title for your video. Now, I could let it slowly fade in by dragging the ends like we've done before, but that feels slow and calm. I'm looking for a little more action here. So, let's have our text zoom in from the side. That means in our first keyframe, you can't even see the text on screen yet. There is usually always one keyframe in the very beginning, or else your media just wouldn't show up at all. So, place your cursor on the first keyframe, and now let's move the position of your text so it's just on the edge of the frame, but not showing. Then move to the right and create another keyframe for when you want your words to show up. If you need to time this to your footage, select the Sync Cursor tool down here. This will sync your timeline cursor with the little cursor in the pan crop track, and will automatically create a keyframe whenever you change the settings. So come down a couple seconds, and then create your second keyframe and move your text to the middle of the screen, where you want it to be. Now play it, and you can see that it's moving in. But it's moving kind of slowly. If there are a lot of frames in between your keyframes, then naturally, it will take more time before the text arrives at its final position, making the movement slow. If you want the movement to be faster, move the second keyframe closer to the first, like this. Now play it, and the text really flies in. I used this position track to animate the messaging scenes in the beginning and ending of the marketing promo, too. Each of these message bubbles was a separate photo, and for the scrolling effect, each one was moved upwards the same distance every time a new message came in. This tool works for all the positions available in the pan crop tool, which means I can also use the same technique to slow zoom into somebody's face or another focal point. And lastly, let's try some keyframing in masks too. I animate masks to show pieces of the same media at different times, and for reveals. Let's use some generated media again as an example. First, add some text again, this time a title and a subtitle underneath it. If you want to have the title and subtitle show up one after the other without using two tracks, this is the way to go. The title can show up immediately, so make your first keyframe at the very beginning, and use the shape tool to mask out the title only. Then, a little while later, to have the subtitle appear, just create a second mask that selects all of the subtitle. Next, let's reveal a color block underneath all that text for emphasis. Add a solid color from generated media on the track underneath the text. Choose a nice color, then go back into pan crop to animate. Mask shapes can be animated too. So, we can reveal our color block here from left to right. For the first keyframe, create a rectangle with the correct height you want, but don't have it touch the color yet. Then, at the second keyframe, when you want the color to be completely revealed, drag that rectangle horizontally across. Now play that, and see how the color moves from left to right? There is so much you can do with animation that I couldn't possibly show you everything. I love the endless possibilities keyframing can create. We didn't even really get into keyframing drawings or icons to create fully animated scenes. It's such a simple but powerful tool that truly lets you control every single frame of your project. Let your imagination run wild, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye!